What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. Hope you're having a great one today. As always, if you can't tell from these beautiful crimson clouds, today we're taking a look at a member of the Akatsuki. We got the wonderful tailed beast without a tail, Kisame Hoshigaki from Rocket Toys. There you can see that little thing there, and you could probably already tell that I've unboxed him a bit. Now, Rocket Toys, if you haven't gotten anything from them, they are amazing. They are a little bit pricey. They are kind of hard to get because they sell out super fast. But more importantly, they wrap their products up like Fort Knox. It took me forever to get this fella out of the box, so I decided we'll do a little quick look-see instead, and just kind of go over all the good stuff that you get with him. He's absolutely amazing. Few little issues I had, nothing too big, but overall fantastic. Of note, he cost about $300, which I think is hilarious when you see all of this stuff compared to what you get for $300 with the She-Hulk from Hot Toys. It just really kind of amusing. Not to say anything bad about Hot Toys, but just the more praise towards Rocket Toys because you get a ton of stuff. I did get this from Giant Toy. They are sold out there. You could possibly still get him from Big Bad Toy Store and a couple other places, but you'll probably be stuck going the resale world on like eBay or something like that if you wanted to hunt him down. I did get Hinata this week as well, so hopefully we'll be cracking her open soon. But we'll go ahead and get right into it. First thing that I thought was amazing, they include this nice little lavender sachet for really no good reason. It just kind of eliminates that horrible plastic odor right when you get it out of the box. Now, I also want to show this off real quick just because it's pretty basic, but you do get a nice straightforward stand for him. It's got the little south symbol that's on his ring with that same nice yellow color. So pretty cool that they did this. I'm assuming they're going to do the same style base for all of the members of the Akatsuki. It's the same as the one that Itachi had. Of course, his was crimson. So probably do the purple and all the other colors for the other fellas. You do get a really nice tool for changing his eyeballs. I honestly don't remember him having different eyes in the show, but you can move them, you can change them up if you want, and they give you this fun little gadget to do it with. So the figure itself is amazing. I'm reasonably confident this is a different robe than the type that they made for Itachi, just because I think the sleeves are a lot longer. I could be wrong on that. I haven't actually tried to take it all the way off, because this thing here, I don't think it comes off very easy, and I don't want to play with it. Kind of one of the downsides. It's going to be somewhat tricky if you want to display him shirtless. You might have to do like a weird weave around thing, but even then, if you open it up, I think it's actually woven through and connected to that little band. I was pretty impressed that they gave him the shark gills right there. I thought that was kind of cool. And they are textured, which is also pretty impressive. They didn't just kind of do a painted on gill. I thought that was an extra touch that really, I mean, unless you look, you're never going to notice. And while I have his little collar open, I guess, I'll show the one thing that I didn't like about him. He has very limited head movement. Basically, his head is so snug on his neck, you can't really tilt his head up or down, which is kind of a bummer because he is a tall fella, but not the end of the world. You can still have him side to side. You can give him a little bit of a wiggle. Just not much. Honestly, the robe is amazing. It is wired there, wired at the bottom, wired up top, and then holds together by magnets, so you can pretty easily just pop it open at will. They did leave him shirtless like he is in the show, so I thought that was a nice little touch. It's got this little band on here. It's a rubber band, more or less. It's holding this in place. I'll probably snip it off. I don't really know why it's there, but it's there. It doesn't have much restriction in the mobility at all. Not able to do the splits without ripping his pants, so you don't want to try that, but can basically get pretty free range of motion out of his legs, which I was quite impressed with. And he does have some nice fancy footwear. Also, they did paint his toenails and fingernails purple, which I was pretty impressed with. When he joins the Akatsuki, he paints his finger and toenails. I don't know why, but it's canon, so they did a good job there. Now, one of the other issues that I had with mine, you can take a look at that cool little ring, hopefully, if we can get it in focus, maybe. And you can also kind of see my little problem there. So I have a little paint smudge on his hand, as you can kind of see. Not the end of the world. I'm probably not going to use this hand, and if I do, it's going to be covered up by that sleeve anyways, so And if you were wondering, his little arm sheaths are just kind of the wrist guard there. You do get a ton of different hands. You get a bunch of different fun head sculpts. You get his sword in all of its glory, which we'll get to in just a moment. But before we go to that, we'll kind of take a look at some of the little extra goodies they got in here. So this hat's the same as the one that Itachi has. So you can kind of bend these. They're all wired. Make it pretty much sit however you want. It's got the little tassel in there, so I was fairly impressed with it with the when I first saw it in Itachi's, and honestly, they did his no different. They do give you this, which at first I was very confused by, but then it sort of dawned on me, if you want him wearing the hat, this will prevent his hair from getting in the way. So you can just kind of pop that on. Makes it nice and easy in case you do want him to rock the hat. And then you get some cool extra head sculpts. So this is one of my favorite head sculpts that I've gotten from a figure in a long time. I just love the way that looks. I really do want to kit bash something completely different with it. I kind of like the idea of making like a punk rocker Kisame for no good reason, just because I think it'd be kind of cool to have, you know, like a shark themed guitar, have him rocking out. And for some reason, that's kind of the vibe I get out of this head, but I really dug it. Now, if you did want to use this, you can pull the hair off to swap it out with that if you want the headband, or you can do that one if you want the headband with his hair sticking up. So you could pretty much just change that to fit however you want. And then you do get this absolutely gorgeous angry face. If we can get it out. Maybe. Come here, fella. There we go. That's unfortunate. So I drop things a whole lot, and that's no exception. All right, there we go. Try that again. So this one is amazing, as I mentioned. Honestly, it's just super cool. You can see how nice and sharp his teeth are, which I love. Interestingly, in the show, in the manga, his teeth, I always thought that they were sharpened to look like sharks, and that might be the case, but he's in a group called the Seven Deadly Swordsmen, something like that, and all of them have the sharpened teeth, but not all of them are shark-related, so if you want to move the eyes, you got that there, and then little magnets kind of keep everything in place. A really cool job at that. Sadly, just not focused too great. I'm probably not going to use this one just because I like those two so much, but definitely a cool option, especially if I ever do some sort of combat pose, which one of the other cool things that they got in this side is this set of hands, which I just really love. So if you wanted him to do any of his chakra seals, you can actually link these fingers together so he can do that one. You kind of got to press them into place, which I don't really want to do at the moment. But you get the idea. They lock in pretty well, so you can really have him do a bunch of cool little hand seals, do all of his summonings and stuff, and I just thought that was absolutely fantastic. You get a bunch of other ones as well, so you can hold his big, beautiful sword, which we're going to take a look at in just a minute. Now this, I shouldn't laugh so much about this. This sword is insane. So if you haven't seen the show, he has a sword named Samehada. It's a sentient sword. It's really cool. It normally is wrapped up in bandages like this. It's covered in shark scale type things. He'll kind of grind it against his opponent and rip off their energy. But usually he's stronger than most people, so he doesn't need to unwrap it at all. So it's typically kind of in this form. Now they do, you can probably see, not so much on this side. On this side, I think you can see it pretty easily. But it should pull apart there. And then you get an alternate one that slides in. That way you got it partially released. They did an amazing job with this. It is absolutely awesome. It's definitely, it's got a little weight to it, but it's manageable. I got the cool, I guess we can, hopefully that'll focus. There we go. Nice little skull there. But really good job with this. This is one of the cooler accessories that I've gotten in a long time. I was just very, very pleased with it. On the other hand, So they give you the fully unraveled version. This giant turkey leg looking thing. It is so heavy and so unwieldy. It's amazing. Like, this thing is so cool looking, but it's probably about 2 pounds of material. Maybe a little less. It's a really, really heavy fella. I would not trust trying to lift it by this. I would definitely not trust him trying to hold it up in any way, shape, or form. I just don't think this is going to be strong enough to support the weight of this thing. So with that being said, I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. I might cut some acrylic so he can hold it and then have like an acrylic base that's kind of keeping it up off the ground, but it's just so dang massive. Really, overall, it's just a pretty unwieldy accessory. I love it. It looks super cool. Got that really nasty tongue, which I greatly appreciate. Honestly, the whole thing is cool. So it could, like, normally this would like lick off the chakra and energy because it eats that of its opponents. It's so cool. I wish it was a little lighter. Like, if the whole thing was completely hollowed out, maybe at that point it would be a little easier to do something with. But honestly, and the way it's set up, I'm pretty much not going to display it much at all. But overall, this figure is amazing. And again, not to rag on Hot Toys, but if you consider $300 for this, all of those guys, compared to like the Hot Toys She-Hulk with a phone and then her extra hands. Again, not to rag on that figure because I really do love it, but Rocket Toys knocks it out of the park. They did an amazing job with this. I can't wait to see what we get from them in the future. Speaking of, I should crack Hinata open up sometime during this week, so we should have that to look forward to later on. That'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much as always. Until next time.